Hello, I'm Rodney Lopez, and I'm from the admissions office here at the Gordon School, and welcome to Faces in the Hallway, where we find members of our faculty just walking down the hallway and want to sort of stop them and ask them about their area of focus, and so that you can learn more about our academic program and community here at the Gordon School. I am pleased to be talking with Frances Martindale. She is the school librarian. And Frances, thank you so much for being with me today. So first, how long have you been a member of the Gordon community?
I came here in 1996, and I came directly from the University of Rhode Island, where I was a adjunct lecturer in theater.
Wonderful. And so let's start with some history. Can you give us a sense of the background and history of the library here at Gordon?
Yes. So this, the first library that I really knew about was the Arthur Livingston Library, which was in this site, in this building. And before that, I'm imagining and surmising, and certainly the history has shown us that it would have been a library on the east side in the first configuration of Gordon with Helen West Cook. And so what I love about our library is that it's always been an intimate space. It's first, the Arthur Livingston Library was. It was a library where kids from the word go could see themselves reflected on the pages. And I say that not because you want it to be true. I say that because I know it to be true. Because when I first came here, one of the jobs that sometimes happens, and I just need to adjust my mask because this is really important.
That's fine.
But one of the things that sometimes happens is that you get to know the collection, and you also get to know the collection by reading it. And I'm going to use the word, I was bowled over by the careful stewardship that had gone on. And one of the things that I noticed in particular was the representation through children's books that were photographed by Gordon Parks, through a number of books that took us right the way back to what Rudine Sims Bishop, whom I'm going to talk about a little bit later in terms of windows and mirrors, but the school from the word go was concerned with making sure that we were building a community where everybody could see themselves.
So much of our culture and philosophy here at the Gordon School revolves around this concept of windows and mirrors. Please tell me what that means to you and how that plays out, not just in the library, but in the school as a whole.
Well, windows and mirrors is a concept that goes back to Rudine Sims Bishop, who is one of my absolute gurus, I would say. And Rudine Sims Bishop believes, and there are other configurations of this, but this is the one that I live my life by. But she believes that there are window books, and a window book is a book that you can see yourself in. It's part of your experience, but you also are looking in to someone else's experience. So it is not wholly your own. So for me, there is a book that is a mirror book. And so a mirror book is a book where this reflects you. So you may happen to be a child of color, and you may happen to have had the experience of being read to and suddenly realizing that, as I've had happen with kids, that you stand up and you say, that's me. That child looks like me. That's me. I can see myself in the story. And that is powerful, and that is impactful, and that is important, because our history within this country, and indeed around the world, has been that publishing has been it has overlooked children of color. It has overlooked families that have two moms or two dads.
Yes.
And so it is crucial that we think about this, and the kids think about the significance of windows, mirrors, and a sliding door, where this experience is totally not your own, but you are entering into somebody else's experience and world.
What is the impact of a visiting author series like this? What impact does that have on students being able to interact with these accomplished authors? What does that mean for the academic development of a
Well,
student?
I think so I'm going to take you back last year to the arrival of Jerry Craft onto our campus. Jerry Craft, whom our incredible head of school, Dr. Noni Thomas Lopez, knew at her previous school. Jerry Craft, who during that year, after 30 years of working on his craft, produced this phenomenal novel called New Kid, this graphic novel about Jordan Banks in his school, in his private school, experiencing microaggressions, experiencing finding allyship, going through the year at a school that he wasn't sure that he wanted to be in. And that novel, which was at our visiting author, was so profound for students and for many students. And it was a novel that literally we could not keep on the shelf. And that we have more copies of, I would say, than any other book in the collection, and that it is still requested. And so the visiting authors, we've had a phenomenal series because we are lucky to have an endowed fund that enables us to bring an author of national and often international standing. The power of having Kwame Alexander, Nikki Grimes, Julia Alvarez, James Howe, is that kids begin to see the process, and they hear from Kwame Alexander that he had perhaps 37 rejections, and that he took his novel and he self-published it, and then the big-time publishers came to him.
That's right.
And so there is agency, and that's what's so fabulous about the Visiting Author Program.
Frances, thank you. Thank you for giving me some time and giving us some time today. This is Faces in the Hallway, and I've had the pleasure of getting to talk with our school librarian, Frances Martindale. Frances, thank you for talking with me for a few minutes.
Thank you.
And please continue to check out the next video in the series.